Welcome to Manohar Chemistry YouTube channel. Today I am going to explain chemical equilibrium part 2. Part 1 already I have covered in previous videos. That link I will provide in description. If you want you can check there. So in this chemical equilibrium part 2 I am going to cover influencing factors of equilibrium constant. So which factors will influence equilibrium constant? We have seen what is the definition of equilibrium constant. Equilibrium constant is nothing but concentration of product concentration by reactants concentration, product concentration and reactants concentration. If not, we can take like this: rate of forward reaction by rate of backward reaction. Rate of forward reaction by rate of backward reaction is also known as what? Equilibrium constant. So before going to start influencing factors of equilibrium constant, which factors will not influence equilibrium constant, that I will explain. Then after I will go for influencing factors of equilibrium, right? So you take initial concentration, initial concentration of reactants and products, initial concentration of reactants and products. They will not influence equilibrium constant. Why? Because we will calculate equilibrium constant at equilibrium, so that is not influenced by initial concentration. Second point is initial pressure also will not influence equilibrium constant. And third one is adding of inert gases also will not influence equilibrium constant. And fourth term which will not influence equilibrium constant is catalyst, which will not influence equilibrium constant is catalyst. So when you use catalyst, what is the role of catalyst in a chemical reaction? Actually, catalyst is a chemical substance which will enhance the speed of a reaction, but it will not participate in a chemical reaction. It will not chemically involve in a reaction. Such type of substances we call it as catalyst. So what is the role of this catalyst? Catalyst will decrease activation energy. By decreasing activation energy, it will motivate the reaction to complete speed. So means rate will changes when you use catalyst, but by when we are using catalyst, activation energy will changes. When activation energy changes, rate constant will changes, but equilibrium constant will not influenced by the catalyst. So these four factors, if you change these four factors will not influence chemical equilibrium, right? But which factor will influence chemical equilibrium? So temperature will influence, that is temperature will influence equilibrium constant. Temperature will influence equilibrium constant. So why this temperature will influence equilibrium constant means, for example, what I told you just now, equilibrium constant is nothing but rate of forward reaction and rate of backward reaction. Ratio of forward reaction and backward reaction is called what? Equilibrium constant. For example, if forward reaction is exothermic reaction, backward reaction is endothermic reaction. Obviously, if forward reaction is exothermic, then backward reaction should be endothermic, right? So when I am increasing temperature is a favorable condition for endothermic reaction. When we are increasing temperature, that is favorable condition for endothermic reaction. When we are increasing temperature, then rate of backward reaction will be greater. Why? Because backward reaction is endothermic reaction. When we are increasing temperature, rate of backward reaction will be greater. When rate of backward reaction is greater, means in a numerator and denominator, if denominator value is increasing, then Kc value will be decrease. Clear? So if I am decreasing temperature, decreasing temperature is a favorable condition for what? Forward reaction. So that rate of forward reaction will be increase. When rate of forward reaction increases, then Kc will increase. So because of this, when we are increasing temperature, we know that Kc value will changes. What is exact mathematical relation for Kc, means equilibrium constant and temperature, that I am going to explain now. So we have Kc is equal to A into e to the power of minus delta H by RT. Kc is equal to equilibrium constant. If not K, you take equilibrium constant. K is equal to A into e to the power of minus delta H by RT. Here K stands for equilibrium constant. K stands for equilibrium constant. K stands for equilibrium constant. A stands for frequency factor. A stands for frequency factor. And delta H stands for enthalpy. Delta H stands for enthalpy. And R stands for universal gas constant. R stands for universal gas constant. Universal gas constant. And T stands for temperature. T stands for temperature. So this is information regarding the relation between equilibrium constant and temperature. If we are taking two different temperatures, K1 is equal to A into e to the power of minus delta H by RT1 will come. RT1. K1 is equal to A into delta H by RT1. If K2 is equal to means at T2 temperature, A into e to the power of minus delta H by RT2 will come, because here temperature only varies, remaining everything will be common. So when you apply logarithm for this one, when you are going to apply logarithm for these equations, then log K1 is equal to when you take a logarithm on both sides, apply log on both sides, ln K1 is equal to ln A plus ln e to the power of minus delta H by RT1 will come. So when you take ln this side, this is in the form of ln A and ln B. ln AB is equal to what? ln A plus and ln A plus ln B. Similarly, this one ln K2 is equal to ln A plus ln of e to the power of minus delta H by RT2. Minus delta H by RT2 will come. So let it be equation number 1 and this will be equation number 2. Subtract equation number 1, subtract equation 2 from, equation 1 from 2. Equation 1 from 2. Subtract equation 1 from 2. Then what you will get? So ln K2 minus ln K1 is equal to ln A plus ln e to the power of minus delta H by RT2 minus ln A plus ln e to the power of minus delta H by RT1, right? Then so this is in the form of ln A minus ln B. So this will be ln K2 by K1 is equal to here ln A get cancelled. So then ln e to the power of delta H by RT2 minus ln e to the power of minus delta H by RT1 will come. So ln e to the power of x value is equal to x, right? So that's why here minus delta H by RT2 minus of minus delta H by RT1 will come. RT1. So after some time, if you change this, that equation will reduce to ln K2 by K1 is equal to minus delta H by RT2 minus into minus plus here delta H by RT1 will come. RT1 minus delta H by RT2 plus delta H by RT1 will come. So ln K2 by K1 is equal to, so here delta H by RT1 minus delta H by RT2. So ln K2 upon K1 is equal, delta H by R is common. When delta H by R is common, 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2 will come. 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. So this is the relation between temperature and equilibrium constant. This is a relation between temperature and equilibrium constant. So if you convert this one into logarithm, then L into log, then we have to multiply with 2.303. 2.303 logarithm of K2 upon K1 is equal to delta H by R into 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2 will come. So here log K2 upon K1, K2 by K1 is equal to delta H by 2.303 R, 2.303 R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. So this is final equation, final mathematical equation for the relation between equilibrium constant and temperature. This is equilibrium constant at T2 temperature and this is equilibrium constant at T1 temperature, this is equilibrium constant at T2 temperature. Delta H means enthalpy value, R means universal gas constant, T means temperature. So this is information regarding equilibrium constant and temperature. So in case 1 I am taking, there are different cases are there in with respect to temperature. If delta H value is less than 0, delta H value less than 0 means what? If delta H value less than 0 means delta H value is equal to negative value. When delta H value is negative, then that reaction is exothermic reaction. That reaction is exothermic reaction. In exothermic reaction, so what will happen in case of K2 and K1? Now we are going to check that, right? If delta H value is less than negative means this total value will be negative. If this delta H value less than 0 means this total value will be negative. So then log K2 delta H value less than negative, K2 by K1 is equal to less than what? 0. This, if this delta H value less than 0 means log K2 by K1 value also less than 0, because log K2 by K1 is equal to what? Delta H by 2.303 R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. So here log K2 upon K1, so we know that log 1 value 0. Instead of 0 I am taking what? Log 1. If you apply anti-log on both sides, then K2 upon K1 less than 1 will come. K2 upon K1 less than 1. So that K2 is less than K1. In case of exothermic reaction, when you are increasing temperature, equilibrium constant value will be decreases. I told you already. So when we are increasing temperature, what I told you, K2 is at T2 temperature, K1 is at T1 temperature. So when you are increasing temperature from T1 to T2, so equilibrium constant value will be decreases. So this is in case of what? Exothermic reactions. So now, so when case 2 I am taking here, case 2, according to case 2, delta H value is equal to what now? Greater than 0. Delta H value is greater than 0. Means log of K2 by K1, log of K2 by K1 is greater than what? 1. Sorry, greater than 0. When log K2 by K1 is greater than logarithm of 1, right? So log, if you apply anti-log on both sides, then K2 upon K1 is greater than 1, is implies K2 is greater than K1. So here you see, when delta H greater than 0 means that is exothermic reaction. When in exothermic reaction, when we are increasing temperature from T1 to T2, then equilibrium constant value will be changes. So this is information. Then after delta H value is equal to 0. If delta H value is equal to 0 means logarithm of K2 upon K1 greater than, equal to 0, right? So then log K2 upon K1 is equal to log 1 will come. So when you applied anti-log on both sides, then K2 upon K1 is equal to 1, then K2 is equal to K1. When you are not supplied any temperature, when you are not changing temperature, in such case both equilibrium constant will be equal. So this is information regarding the factors which will influence equilibrium constant. Which is significance of equilibrium constant. What is the importance of equilibrium constant, and with equilibrium constant what we... So significance of equilibrium constant, we know that equilibrium constant Kc is nothing but concentration of product ratio of concentration of product and concentration of reactant. So here if Kc value is greater, in which case Kc value will be maximum? when reactant concentration minimum, in such case Kc value will be maximum. Means which concentration, in which case Kc value will be maximum. So when product concentration increase, then Kc value will be maximum. If Kc value is greater, it indicates what? Extent of forward reaction. So what is forward reaction? Which reactants to product is called forward reaction. Means if product concentration is maximum, means reaction extent of what? Forward reaction. So Kc is equal to, we know that product concentration and reactant concentration, ratio of product concentration by reactant concentration. If Kc value is less, indicates what? Reactant concentration is more. Then extent of backward reaction. Extent of backward reaction means what? Products to reactants will come. Right? So after this, here one small term I am going to introduce here, that is reaction quotient. Reaction quotient is nothing but QC is equal to concentration of product and concentration of reactant. Already we are taking here concentration of product by concentration of reactant as equilibrium constant. Then what is QC? So QC is nothing but concentration of product by concentration of reactant, but this can be calculated at any extent of a chemical reaction. But in case of Kc is calculated only at equilibrium. That is the difference between QC and Kc. QC can be calculated at any instant, at any time. So, but Kc we can calculate only at equilibrium. That is the importance. Here, for example, when I am taking here, so these are the reactants and these are the products. So this is equilibrium. Here we called as a QC. So from here to here, wherever you calculate the ratio of the product concentration and reactant concentration, that we call as QC. After Kc also, if you are calculating concentration of product by concentration of reactant, that also we call it as what? QC. That is the difference between QC and Kc. At equilibrium, QC will become what? Kc. At equilibrium, QC only we call it as what? Equilibrium constant. Okay. So now, three special cases, that is QC is less than Kc, QC is greater than Kc, and QC is equal to Kc. These are three cases here. When QC is less than Kc, in such case, that is forward reaction. Reaction will move towards what? Forward direction, favorable for forward reaction. If QC is greater than Kc, that is favorable for backward direction. So QC is equal to Kc, means that is at equilibrium. So means here, for example, this is Kc, and this is QC. This is QC and this is Kc. This one QC and Kc, and this one Kc and QC. If QC is smaller and Kc is greater, in such case reaction will move towards in forward direction. This is in forward direction. If QC and Kc is equal, then we call it as what? Equilibrium. If QC is greater, then it will be backward, favorable for what? Backward reaction. So means based on this Kc value and Qc value, we can predict direction of a chemical reaction. Very easily. So this is important with respect to what? Relation between Kc and Qc.